My Lords, following on from the response from the Noble Lord the Minister about the oversight of the source of the biomass going into Drax. Now, the Noble Lord said that the independent regulator Ofgem, that he has confidence in that regulator, and indeed alluded to the fact that last year Drax agreed to pay £25 million after Ofgem found it had submitted inaccurate data on the sourcing of wood pellets. But would the Minister acknowledge that the problem with that is that after the event, the trees have already been cut down and have been burnt, and then some years later we get a fine? That still means the trees are no longer there and the carbon dioxide is in the atmosphere. And we have a fine of £25 million, but the Noble Earl Russell referred to the fact of what's happening with Drax's share price. Isn't there a risk that the Drax just regards this as part of the cost of doing business?
My Lords, the Noble Baroness will know that ministers don't comment on share prices at the dispatch box for very, very good reasons indeed. Lords, I think we need to be clear that, first of all, I do think Ofgem's investigation was thorough and rigorous. I have a great deal of trust in the work of Ofgem. And actually, my Lords, she will also know there was no suggestion Drax was awarded subsidy under the existing renewables obligation or contract for different arrangements incorrectly. It was more, my Lords, to do with the documentation. And, my Lords, the investigation found no evidence to suggest Drax had been issued with subsidies incorrectly. And Ofgem are very confident in their conclusions. I do think, though, my Lords, I don't think, essentially, Drax made a redress payment because there is a scheme within Ofgem for companies to be able to do that. I must say, my Lords, I think £25 million is substantial, and I think it was a very good indication to Drax that they need to get their documents in order, and I very much hope, my Lords, that they have done that. But, of course, my Lords, we will be looking to Ofgem to ensure that that happens and that everything is proper, and that under the new arrangements we are satisfied that Drax can meet the criteria. I don't think this has not been an easy decision, my Lords. It's not been an easy decision. I thought in our debates yesterday, and I was interested in Baroness Boycott's response, which essentially was she welcomed the progress made. I don't think she wasn't overwhelmed with the decision, but there was an acknowledgement that we are making progress, and we do understand the sensitivities that are here. But of course, one has to come back to the issue of biomass and its sustainability. And, my Lords, we do have to also have the UK's Committee for Climate Change and the Intergovernmental Government Panel on Climate Change recognising that bioenergy can play a significant role in decarbonising economies. My Lords, we would only support the use of sustainable biomass and generators if it meets our sustainability criteria. I've said we're going to toughen that up. And I think, my Lords, at the end of the day, it's a difficult question, and I think we've come to a sensible arrangement, which, after all, my Lords, is a short-term arrangement in the lifetime of generators of 4 years from 27 to 2031.